Hey guys, how's it going? Today I want to start off with a couple of exciting project updates. We are standing here in the back of the Dirtlands. I want to show you the progress on the pole barn, and then we're going to head up to the entryway. The brick pillars are done. We don't have the top cap pieces yet, but the brick portion's done and they look awesome. When we're done with updates, we do have some beautiful things to plant. We've got some stormproof hydrangeas, purple illusion, Veronica, and then the pink profusion salvia. Beautiful mix. We're also going to harvest some apricots today as well. It is currently 65 degrees out here. I cannot remember a beginning of July that has felt like this. Yesterday's high was 78. We got a tremendous amount of rain without a lot of wind. It was an irrigating rain, like everything got moisture. It was awesome. And today's high is 82. Tomorrow's high is 89. So we're gonna just soak it in and get some stuff planted and just enjoy it. But look at this. Look at this, isn't this incredible? So you know we had planned on getting this done last fall. We were working with a different outfit and ended up running into some snags. So we have Red Oak Construction out here. If you are local, they are awesome. Let me show you their trailer here. There we go. Once they get going on a project, they have everything so organized that they move fast. So this pole barn is gonna be used for storage. It's roughly 80. It's 80 feet long and 20 feet deep. You can see the big old posts. I think those are 8x8s are in. All of the roof is sort of together, like they're in sections. I think they're gonna bring a crane in and pop each one of them up to get them all attached. And after that, I think it's just siding and the roof. I know next to nothing about building things, so I don't know all the steps involved, but they're pretty close. The structure will be a dark gray. We decided not to go white like all the rest of our outbuildings because this is one that we kind of wanted to recede into the background and not shine back here. We talked to our neighbors about this. Wow, I don't even know what time it was. We hadn't even seriously decided on putting one here. We just wanted to make sure that they were okay. If in the future we decided to put one up, they would be okay with it. They said absolutely go for it. They don't have any windows that look in this direction. In fact, once we decided to put it in, they started moving their trailer, their wood pile is back there. So I think we're gonna both be using it for storage and, you know, kind of dropping stuff off that you need a place for. We are still gonna be planting an evergreen hedge behind it though. I think it's roughly 15 feet away from the fence. We've got a couple of spring grove arborvitaes already back there, so I think we might just continue on. That way it'll provide a little bit of softness and a nice green backdrop for our neighbors. But I am just so excited about this because all of this stuff, all of this junk back here, well, some of it is just gonna go. Like, you know, we'll find a home for the pallets. There's still some building supplies in here that will be gone, but like all of the palletized stuff we've got back here, it will all be cleaned up, organized, and tucked away in the barn. We'll have a place to park tractors and just random things, you know. We'll have a nice big gravel area right in front of it, so it'll look really clean back here. But then right about here, we'll start back in with flower beds. So we'll be able to clean this up. All the weeds in here, we'll be able to put nice mulch down and start in with some plants. Because while this looks super thick back in here, and it is, we don't own very far into kind of this wild growth, which we love. So we'd like to, you know, bolster up our side just in case our neighbors in the future decide that they want to start taking out trees and doing anything back here. Anyway, it's just an exciting project. I'm looking forward to having this area just all cleaned up and having things under cover for wintertime. Okay, let's go take a look at the pillars up front. The sunflowers on top of the dirt pile are cracking me up. These are looking beautiful, but oh my goodness, look at these pillars. Look at how gorgeous these are. The size is absolute perfection. I am so glad that we went with a 3-foot pillar. I was sharing with you in our first update when they were in the process of building these about how much we deliberated about the size of these pillars and how, like, I just felt like 3 feet was going to be way too big. And it's because I wasn't used to seeing anything up here, but now that they are here, it just, when you're driving up, it feels right. And for the scale of the gate and the scale of the lawn behind, they needed to be nice and big. You can see right here, we've got our spot for our lights. So we'll have some great big, I've got 2 foot, like they're big lights coming that are going to be really beautiful. And then we are working with a company to make some caps for the top that will have a really pretty finial on the top. So they will be another 2 feet-ish high, maybe a little bit more than that when all is said and done. Also, we're gonna have a little piece made. So it'll go from, see that right there? It'll be this thickness. There'll be a little piece in between with probably one of these with the little fleur-de-lis on the top so that it looks connected. We couldn't connect the pillars to the gate because of the arm. The pillars would have been in the way and it wouldn't have allowed the gate to open all the way, so it had to be set aside a bit. So standing in the lane, look at that. I just love it. I also love that it sort of blocks the view of the house. Now we can start planting right in here, which will block the view even further. Right here, it looks like you can almost just drive right through. And I want to get that taken care of here really quickly. I kind of know what I want to do for plants in the front here. Sort of. This mailbox will be gone, so imagine that, like, not blocking the view. Red Oak Construction is also working on, they've got the pad poured, but they're going to build a little sweet little delivery hut right here that will match our flower shed. It's going to be awesome. I'm so looking forward to it. So I think we'll have like a little flagstone path that leads up to it, and we'll have it planted up all cute around it. And having that set back will just open up the whole view around it. And these bricks, you guys, I think I mentioned it in the first update. They are a color called Smokestack. I really like it. I like how they're kind of muted. They're a little bit of a cooler undertone in color as opposed to, you know, like the bright red brick. And they match the other bricks that we've been using around our house. This is the same color we used on the Hartley. So they 100% match the Hartley brick. I just could not be more thrilled with how these turned out. They did a beautiful job. They got it done, the pillars done in like 2 days. It's just amazing. Okay, so now I would like to go get some apricots harvested because that's kind of what I want to eat for breakfast today. The kids and I have already been picking some. We don't have a massive crop of apricots this year, but it's more than last year. Last year we got 0. We might pick some strawberries while we're out here as well. There's quite a number of them out here. Oh my, there's quite a number. Yep. We need to make some jam. Yum. Okay, things are looking good in the orchard. The mama and baby robins, they're gone. So now we can approach this apple tree. There's their nest. The apples are looking beautiful, and I'm wondering, some of them I'm seeing some damage in, like this right here has got a worm in it, but like a lot of these don't. And I don't know, maybe you guys can help me out here. I don't know if there's a certain time when those moths lay their eggs and you have to get after it early. And, you know, after you get past the point of them, you know, being in that stage, they won't lay any more eggs. So maybe the ones that are not touched won't be touched. I don't know. I don't know how that works. But in that tree, I couldn't bag a lot of the apples because of those birds. I kept freaking them out. But this is the apricot tree we are going to be picking from, because you can see I'm going to actually go through all of these on the ground too. I think these just fell yesterday because we had so much rain. And they're probably, yeah, like this one is totally good. Some of them might not be. That one looks good. The variety here is Perfection, and the size of these apricots is just amazing. I need to do some pruning on this one though. You can see I left these big old arching stems on here, and so they've had to support quite a lot of weight, but that's the only place where they were setting fruit. So anyway, we'll hopefully get that rectified, but I think we'll be able to, I've got a ladder, hopefully we'll be able to harvest a few of these. Yeah, how beautiful these are. They're huge. I don't know if this is going to be enough ladder for what we need, but we'll make do. Okay, harvested most of them, but there are a few bunches left on the tree that are not quite ripe yet. And I like to leave some out here because it's fun just to come and pick and eat straight off the tree, especially when they're slightly warm. Oh my gosh, they're so good. But here's what we ended up with. We've got three kind of piles here. We've got one pile that I'm just gonna toss. They're, you know, kind of like gross and really eaten on. This basket right here are the cleaner ones. So they look really good. They're nice and ripe. I got a hold of a couple of them that are a little bit firm. So these will need to sit on the counter. I didn't mean to pick those, but I did. And then this basket right here is full of ones that have kind of minor imperfections and like imperfections on the outside, but it doesn't look like they've got any like big bug damage. And I'm gonna turn these into jam because we like to make a glaze for our hams in the wintertime with apricot jam and a little bit of brown sugar and mustard. It's super, super good. So anyway, we'll be able to make some jam. We have some for fresh eating. I think that's amazing. Now I'd like to go through and get all of our strawberries picked. Now, something I noticed about our strawberries this year, which we never had an issue with when they were planted in the ground, is we are backing off on the amount of water that we are giving these strawberry plants. They look really good and healthy and they're producing lots of berries, but the berries aren't overly sweet and some of them even have a little bit of a sour vibe, and I think that's because they're getting too much water. It just dilutes the flavor of the strawberry and the sugars don't have a chance to really like form up and condense in the fruit. So anyway, that might be something to keep in mind if you run into that sort of issue. But look at these plants. We were just out here starting some little baby plants to send to my parents' house. They're looking really good. It's been a few days since we've done that. And I think these berries are starting to sweeten up more than just like the last few that I have picked out here since we cut back on water a bit. But I do want to make a batch of strawberry jam as well. So I'm just gonna use whatever we pick for that. Gosh, these plants look so, so good. Look at those. Let's go pick some blackberries too. look at this haul. I backed the gator up, one, because I think I want to plant all the hydrangeas right in here. I think that's going to be gorgeous. But two, we had this little slice of shade so we could take a look at our fruit a little bit closer. But you guys, I was very encouraged. Most of the strawberries that I sampled, I probably sampled, I don't know, 15 or 20 strawberries this morning. Most of them were sweet. I probably 15, 16 of them were super sweet and tasted wonderful. And then I did run into just a couple of like semi-tart, sourish ones. I just found that very interesting. I've never run into that problem before. So while we were giving them, I checked with Erin, we were giving them water every single day and quite a lot of it to get going. And we never scaled back once they rooted in. So, I mean, it was making for really big, beautiful growth from these plants, but it didn't make for the best flavored fruit. So since reducing the amount of water, which we reduced it about 50%, the fruit sweetened right back up. So I learned something this year. And these blackberries, oh my gosh, look at how big some of these are. I mean, not all of them are huge, but these you really want to make sure that they are squishy and that they fall right off the plant. Like they'll just kind of fall off in your hand. Otherwise, they will be on the tart side. But I am so excited about all of our blackberries. And the varieties we have, I think I mentioned this recently, we've got Black Satin and Natchez. Those are the two varieties we're harvesting right now. The other ones we have are Triple Crown, and the berries are starting to form up, but they're pretty small still and green. That, you know, they're just kind of working on it. So I think it's perfect, the progression of harvest we'll have. And I didn't plan it that way necessarily. In fact, I was gonna get rid of the Black Satin and Natchez because last year they kind of underperformed. It kind of just goes to show year to year things can be a little bit different. But I think I'm gonna turn all of these into jam. We're gonna have apricot jam, and then I think I might try a mixed berry. I've never done that before. So I'm gonna do a little looking, but I might add, we've got some red raspberries and fall gold starting to come off the plants as well, not as heavy as the blackberries, but I might just process, like clean these and get them frozen and wait on some raspberries, or I might just do a blackberry strawberry blend. I think that would be really good. But let's move on to our planting projects. So these, you guys, are the variety that we planted up next to the barn on the east side, and I've got 5 left from that project, and they grow, I think, 3 to 4 feet tall and wide. So I thought just doing a little grouping of them around this bald cypress would be really pretty. So like popping one here. We've also got some gorgeous, this is the Luscious Berry Blend Lantana. This is an annual, but I kind of planted this little tropical section. This is the Supertunia Persimmon. Look at them together. They're such a bright, beautiful blend. And then we've got a barberry in there, a Montana Moss Juniper. We've got some lilac colored hibiscus that are budding up big time. In fact, oh, we've got some color. But I mean, just, they are loaded. These perform like crazy. This one looks bigger. Does it have more color? Well, I see more color in the buds, but no big flowers yet. Ruby Chip Jr., Buddleia, there's a Supertunia Hoopla Vivid Orchid tucked in, Russian Sage. This is a pink salvia, cannot remember the name. Something Dawn? Pink Dawn? That doesn't sound right. I don't know. And we've also got some Serendipity alliums that are starting to go for it almost. But I think a little pop of white right in here is gonna be awesome. Oh yeah. Let's see, gotta consider our angles here. Yeah, that looks really nice. We're gonna go for it. Don't those look beautiful right there? They just bring a brightness. So again, 3.5 to 4 feet tall and wide. They are a zone, I think 3 through 8. They're very winter hardy, and this particular variety is supposed to be incredibly sturdy. A lot of the older type Annabelle hydrangeas, they couldn't hold up to the weight of the blooms because these blooms, once the plants get bigger, will be a bigger size as well. And the older varieties tend to flop, but these are supposed to stay incredibly upright and very sturdy, very strong. And I don't know if you can see like that little shiny spot right there where I pulled the hose out to water these. I made sure that that one was over far enough to where we can still pull the hose out and not snag the plant. And we've got plenty of room back behind too for a few more kind of larger, taller things. But I am thrilled with that. We've got the 2 other perennials to put in. I think I want the Veronica to go in near the pond, so let's head over there. Oh, hold on. We gotta take a look at these echinops that we started from seed. Aren't these gorgeous? Look at these. We planted them out last year. I think it was last year in the spring. And they were very small last year, just, you know, starting to establish and root in. And this year they are glorious. I think it's the, what variety? I need to look it up. Retro. I got the seeds from Johnny's. And I just think they are the coolest thing. And they kind of dry just like this. So you don't have to deadhead them or anything. I can see some honeybees on them right now. It's just starting to warm up. So these purple illusion grow about 1.5 feet tall and wide. They're zone 3 through 8, maybe 4 through 8, zone 4 through 8. And they bloom early through midsummer. They've got a beautiful bloom right here. Pollinators love the Veronica, but I think that these will be really nice worked in over here somewhere. You know what? I gotta move to the other end of the pond here. I'm thinking right in this area. And they can be a little bit more of a border plant. Gotta keep them a little bit away from that. That's a Sergeant Pepper dogwood. And so this one will get 6 feet wide, I think. So maybe I should do like one of these. Give it some good space. Yeah, I think that would be really nice to have some color right there. I gotta back my gator up. Take a look at the berm on our way though. Isn't it beautiful? I'm just really thrilled with how it all turned out. It's nice to have some stuff up here this year. Last year I had a few Gara, but it was largely empty up here. When I walked over here, the smell of strawberries, like, it's so strong. Love it. Okay, so we're gonna go with a slightly willy-nilly approach, but we also will have a little bit of a block of them as well. So I'm gonna tuck one in behind this first stone, and I've got some nepeta around in this area, a little pine, I've got some drumstick alliums, and then right here we've got a little bit of a drift, but I'm kind of angling this one up a little bit more instead of along the walkway because I wanted to leave enough room for something lower and just something else in here. So it didn't look like too much of a hedge right in front of the stones, which is not really what I want for this area. And we left plenty of room for this to fill in, except for right here. I do want to tuck one in right there. I think that would look really pretty, as well as on the other side. Digging should be pretty easy in this spot. They're all going in where dirt was brought in for this project. So here we go. Oh, I think they look really good right here. So you can see that first one tucked in, our little grouping, and then the other two right in here. Really nice. So now we've got the 5 salvia left. Right here. We're along the back kind of service road in the south garden. But this is a space I still want it to be really pretty because we see it every single day we drive on this road. And we've got some gorgeous things already in here. This is an angel white lilac right here that blooms so beautifully every year. We've got drops of Jupiter oregano. We actually dug these up, I think it was last year, and split them up, like divided the plants and brought them back here. They look so good. We've got a Chatalpa that we planted this spring. That's looking great. We've got a red fox katsura, some hollyhocks, part of the grass that we dug out from in front of the house, as well as a bunch of geraniums that we dug up and moved back here. Arctic fire dogwoods right there. Yeah, there's a lot of gorgeous stuff. So I think if we add in some summer color right in here, that would be perfect. All right, it is planted. So this one grows, I don't know if I mentioned already, 14 to 16 inches tall and 20-inch spread. And we'll pop something else in between because we didn't have quite enough to fill up that gap, which is totally fine. We've got lots of gaps out in the garden. But can we take a second to appreciate the high gloss of the angel white lilac leaves? This is one of the other reasons why I love it so much. I mean, it's in bloom for weeks and weeks and weeks in the spring with the most beautiful pure white blooms that are super fragrant. But even when they're done, I mean, you can come in and take these out if you want to. They just kind of disappear eventually, like all these little brown things. They fall off and then you don't really notice it. But I just love the glossy leaves. Not all lilacs have that. And the gloss makes everything look more like healthy and more lush. And it's a really pretty contrast right here, that chartreuse brightness of the oregano with the deep green glossiness of the lilac. Even though that's not why we're over here. I had to mention that. But I think that these are really beautiful right in here, and it kind of makes me happy to tuck these gorgeous plants into an area that's not quite as focal, because I think those areas are important as well. And you guys, that is gonna do it for today. What a beautiful day out here. I mean, any day in July and August that's under 100 degrees is a win. But when you have a day in the low 80s, that's kind of unheard of, and I'm just absolutely loving it. I think we might even have to picnic outside for dinner tonight. The kids will love it. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed the updates, the harvest, the planting. It's kind of all the things today. Hope you're having a great day, and we will see you in the next video. Bye. P.S. Just wanted to show you what came from today's harvest. I went ahead and made a couple batches of jam. There's 4 jars of apricot, as well as a little dish. I didn't have a jar small enough for that, so we'll just eat that fresh. And 5 jars of strawberry. We did some marshmallow crafts this afternoon. And I decided to just freeze the blackberries while I try to decide what to do with them. Oh my gosh, this is a heavy pan. Look at these. They are beautiful. This is the first bag we froze from our first harvest. And this will fill up another bag. Plus we've got some fresh apricots for eating over the next few days.